Hello class and welcome to Module 5. Now while all of our lessons and all of these videos have been very important, this is the most important one. I'm going to break down how to make an A on this essay. I'm going to make it as simplistic as possible. I would take notes. I would look below at the verbiage here, and I'm going to be going off of what my examples are. First, I'm going to go over the basics. And if you have any questions, let me know, but I'm going to make this very, very simple, okay? First off, make sure that you are double spacing and indenting your paragraphs. That is the writing basics. That's proper APA format. So that is the first thing you have to ensure that you do. You're going to have a title page. APA requires a title page. Just put your name, the date, the title, the class. You can put my name if you want, not required. And that will all be the same font. Everything should be 12 point Times New Roman. Nothing is bigger, nothing is bolder. Don't underline anything. Just 12 point Times New Roman across the board. You also want to make sure that you do not put extra space in between your paragraphs, so you're not going to end your intro and hit enter, and then start your paragraph 1. So there's no gaps between your paragraph. You're just, when you end a paragraph, just hit enter. Regular double spacing, so no extra space in between the paragraphs. So let's get to the organization of this essay. You are going to have 5 or 6 paragraphs. 5, no less than 5, no more than 6. If you have anything different, you probably didn't watch this video, and you will not have a successful paper. Okay, so you're going to have your introduction that slowly leads into your topic. Think of your introduction as going through a stoplight. Green, yellow, red. Red is your thesis. Red is where you announce your stance on the issue and you reveal your key points. You don't want your introduction to slam on the brakes at a red light. So if my topic is, the example below, is attending a 2-year college is better than going to a 4-year right out of high school, I'm not going to say that in my first sentence. I'm going to start with some sort of attention grabber. You can use a resource if you would like to be that attention grabber. So I would start by, my introduction. I might find a source that says, in a recent study done by this so-and-so, it stated that 4 bajillion people graduated high school last year and were making the decision to go to college. And then I would back it up, with parentheses, which I'm going to get to. And all of these students have a decision to make. Some are going to want to go away to, 4-year colleges, but there's also another option of a 2-year college. While a lot of people might not want to stay closer to home and attend the 2-year college right from the start, it has its benefits. And then I'm going to get to my thesis, my red light. So if you look below, my thesis, last sentence of your introduction does 2 things. It announces your stance on the issue, and it reveals your key points. You will have 3 key points. These are your reasons, and you're going to discuss and prove these reasons to prove your thesis. So my thesis, last sentence of my intro, would be attending a 2-year college right out of high school is better than going to a 4-year because it's cheaper, class sizes are smaller, and it better prepares you for the real world. So my 1, 2, 3 reasons in the last sentence of my introduction. So paragraph 1. Now I'm in paragraph 2. This is your body paragraph A. You want the verbiage to match. It's like a map. The map from your thesis, the key points, those key points go in order on your paragraphs. The first benefit to attending a 2-year over a 4-year is that it is cheaper. Okay, so the cheaper coincides with cheaper in the thesis. You could draw a line, map. Now I'm going to be giving supporting sentences to prove and to discuss, to support how that's cheaper. You're going to have sources. Do not rely just on direct quotes. You're going to want to use paraphrasing more than you will direct quotes. So you're going to have your A, your B, your C. Okay? Intro. The first reason is that it's cheaper. The second reason is that the class sizes are smaller. Again, I'm carrying over the verbiage in the thesis down to the topic sentence. So we're on B. That's paragraph 3. then you're going to do the same thing. Supporting sentences, sources. Make sure you have transitions at the end of your paragraph. Being cheaper is not the only reason. The second reason is that class sizes are smaller. While the class sizes and the cost are very good advantages, there's one more reason. C. The last reason is that it better prepares you for the real world. Then you're going to give your supporting details, your research, and then you have your 3 key points. You've proven your thesis by discussing those 3 key points. So, and then you will have 5th paragraph. So here's where we're going to talk about the counter. You're going to have your counter as your 5th paragraph, or you're going to write to the counter in each key point, whatever fits your argument better. So if you are going to write to the counter of each key point in your body paragraphs, then you're going to have research, because you have to have credible research for your counter. And your counter is basically saying, you're addressing, yes, there are other opinions on it. There are other sides, but my way's better. That's basically what you're doing, but you're not using first person. So if I'm, talking about the 2-year, I may say, well, a lot of people may look down on 2-year colleges and may not, want to do that. And here are some of the reasons. However, the goods of the 2-year outweigh the bads. So you're going to make sure that you address the counter. So you're either going to do that within each body paragraph. Okay, don't end a paragraph with research. You also don't want to start. So the beginning and the ending sentence, your topic sentence, that's the first sentence of each paragraph. And then you're going to have a transition, that's the last sentence of your paragraph. And that will wrap up what you've already said, and wrap up that key point, and lets us know you're moving on to something else. So think of it as a concluding sentence for that paragraph. So, but if you want to have a separate counter paragraph, that's going to be your 5th paragraph, okay? And you have to have a research, a source in there, and then you'll have your conclusion. So you're either going to have intro, A, B, C, counter, conclusion. Intro, A, discuss the counter as well. B, discuss the counter as well. C, discuss the counter as well. And your conclusion, whatever's going to be easier for you. And so, and then you're going to have a conclusion, and your conclusion just wraps up what you've already said. So your conclusion will be your shortest paragraph. Your key points will be the longest. Your A, B, and C, those will be your longest paragraphs. And your intro and counter might be a little bit shorter, but they should be longer than your conclusion. So you might want to rewind that and listen to that again, so you know what the length, how it should look. So now let's go down. If you look at what's typed below, make sure you're not using any first person. No I, me, we, our, my, for me, I might have already said that. No first person. In your citations, I give examples on how to use APA. So I've given an example of an article. So I've given the title, the author. I just hypothetically said that I'm the author. I gave the page number and the year. And so this is a very simplistic, summed up guide on how to use your in-text citations. So I would honestly pull this up, print it if you can, or have it up when you're typing yours so you can go back and forth and compare to what I've done to what you're going to do. And if you do it like this every time, then you're going to do it correctly. So use the resources in the course, but I also want you to follow this right here. This is the most simplistic, resource that you can follow for this paper. So I would have this lesson up, I would take notes on it, and then look at my examples, and you should do very well on this paper. So don't let it overwhelm you. So remember, your thesis is like a map. Follow that map. Those are your body paragraphs. That will keep you focused. That will give you strong organization. So if you guys have any questions or concerns, let me know. But for your assignment here, you're going to post this. It's a full, I know it's your rough draft, but it needs to be a fully completed paper. And I'm going to be giving feedback on it. So make sure you come back and you read the feedback. Let's hypothetically say that you don't do very well on it and you want to make revisions and resubmit. that will be treated like late work. And I encourage it, if it's only 10% off, and you have 7 days. So you could treat that like late work. So let's say that you get a very poor grade on it because you just missed the mark. Let's say that you didn't watch this lesson, and now you're coming back to watch this lesson and going, oh, I should have watched the lesson. But let's say that you're watching this for the first time and you want to make those revisions. I highly encourage that. It just will have to be submitted within the late work window, 7 days, and there will be a 10% penalty. So that means your grade could be a lot higher than what you originally got. And don't hesitate to reach out with any questions, or you want clarification, or email me your paper in advance and say, hey, what do you think? But I will be directing you a lot. If it really misses the mark, I'll be directing you back to this lesson and the examples of how to formulate your thesis, your research, how to organize this paper, and all of those things. For your reference page, that always starts on a separate page. Put references at the top, no extra space in between your citations. Put your citations in ABC order. Author's last name first name, period, the title, and the year, all the information. Make sure you have a hanging indent. So you might have to Google it depending on what you're using. So if you're using Google Docs, how do I do a hanging indent on Google Docs? How do I do a hanging indent on Word? If you don't know how to do that. So if you don't know what a hanging indent is, look that up. But you have to use a hanging indent on your reference page for your citations. You have to have the 3 that we've done, in the past, those 3 sources. But if you have more, if you find more credible sources, then I'm all for using those. I hope this makes this clear, and let's have a great week 5. I look forward to seeing your rough drafts.